Hi, good morning everyone. So for today's video, I'm gonna explain to you the principle of SMAO process. But before that, let me show you my art or my work. Now let's move on or move forward to the function and the parts of it. First is the electrode wire. Here is the electrode wire. This one right here in the middle. So what is electrode wire? The electrode wire or the electrode in SMAO is a consumable wire that conducts electricity and melts during the welding to form the weld metal. So it needs energy, so the heat will melt the wire or the electrode or the rod. Next up is the electrode coating or the flux coating. So this is the electrode coating or the flux coating right here outside the electrode wire. So what is electrode coating or flux coating? So what is the function of the electrode coating? It provides shielding gas to protect the weld area, stabilize the arc, and can add alloying elements to the weld. So next up is the arc. This part. This is the arc, this broken line here. So what is arc? So what is arc? The arc is the electrical discharge between the electrode and the workpiece. It generates intense heat, melting the electrode and the base metal to create the weld. So what is its function? So the function of the arc is it generates the intense heat needed for the melting the electrode and the base metal. Next up is the metal drops. So here is the metal drops. This one right here is like a water drops, but it's called metal drops in SMAO. So what is metal drops and its function? So what is metal droplets? As the electrode melts, small droplets of molten metal detach from the electrode and transfer to the workpiece, forming the weld bead. So, what is its function? The function of metal droplets, these form the weld bead and contribute to the fusion of the joint. So this is like the glue of the SMAO. It connects the workpiece. So let's move on to the next. It is called the molten weld metal. So in the drawing, this is the molten weld metal, this one right here. So what it is and what is its function? So what is molten weld metal? This is the melted portion of the electrode and the base of the metal where fusion occurs. It solidifies to create the welded joint. So what is its function? The function of molten weld metal, it is the material that joins the workpiece together. The next part is the slag. This one right here is the slag. This one right here is the slag. So what is slag and its function? So what is slag? The electrode coating produces a slag layers that covers the weld bead. It protects the molten metal from atmospheric contamination as it cools and solidifies. So what is its function? The function of slag is to protect the molten weld metal from the contamination and facilitates the cooling process. So it helps the bead to stay away from the contamination, and it facilitates the cooling process, or it makes the cooling process more faster. The next one called The next one called reinforcement buildup of weld metal. So this one right here, the arrow says right here, this one right here, this black line. So what is it and what is its function? So what is reinforcement buildup of weld metal? This refers to the excess weld metal that extends beyond the surface of the base metal. It can be intentionally added to strengthen the joint. So what is its function? The function of reinforcement buildup weld metal. It can add strength and volume to the weld. Useful, right? Useful for specific application. So next one is the original surface of the base metal. So this one right here, where's the arrow? Here, this one right here. This one right here. So what is it and what is its function? So what is original surface of the base metal? This is the untouched surface of the base metal before welding. The weld should bond effectively with this surface for a strong joint. So, what is its function? The function of this, it is the proper bonding with the surface ensures a solid connection. So it ensures, or it is helped to ensure a solid connection between the workpiece. The penetration. This one right here. The arrow says here, this part. So, what is penetration and its function? So, what is penetration? Penetration is the depth to which the metal extends into the base metal. Proper penetration ensures a strong connection between the parts being joined. So, what is its function? The function of penetration is penetration ensures a strong and reliable weld by fusing the base metal effectively. Let's move on to the base metal, the last part of this video. So this right here is the base metal. This one right here. So what is base metal and its function? So what is base metal? The term base metal refers to the primary metal or alloy that you are welding, as opposed to the filler metal in or any coatings or electrodes used in the process. The base metal is the material that you are joining or repairing through the welding process. For example, you are repairing a grills that been broken. So your base metal is the remainings of the grills that been broken. So what is the function of the base metal? The function of the base metal is to provide the structural integrity and the properties needed for the final product or welded joint. The characteristic of the base metal, such as its composition, mechanical properties, and heat conductivity, will influence the performance of the welded joint.